Liverpool's January transfer plans are already taking shape, and the club may be preparing another major move despite spending heavily just a few months ago. After missing out on Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo, attention inside Anfield has reportedly shifted toward Paris Saint-Germain forward Bradley Barcola, a player Liverpool now see as a serious long-term solution for their attack. Semenyo had been high on Liverpool's shortlist. His pace, strength, and Premier League experience made him an attractive option as Arne Slot looks to reshape his squad. However, those plans were derailed when it became clear that the Bournemouth star prefers a move to Manchester City. With Pep Guardiola's side expected to complete that deal when the January window opens, Liverpool were forced to look elsewhere. Rather than panic or rush into a short-term fix, Liverpool's recruitment team appear to be sticking to a clear strategy: invest only in the right profile. According to reports, that thinking has pushed Bradley Barcola firmly into focus. The 23-year-old PSG winger is now viewed as a prime alternative following the Semenyo setback, with Liverpool prepared to lay serious groundwork either for January or, more realistically, next summer. This renewed urgency in the transfer market is not without reason. Despite spending more than £400 million in the summer, Liverpool's first half of the season has been far from convincing. Injuries, inconsistency, and a lack of cutting edge in key moments have exposed gaps in the squad. One major blow came during the dramatic 2-1 win over Tottenham, where striker Alexander Isak suffered a serious injury. His absence has only increased the pressure on Liverpool to add another high-quality attacking option. There is also the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Mohamed Salah. While the Egyptian star is expected to remain at Anfield until at least the summer, questions about his long-term future refuse to go away. Liverpool know they must start planning for life beyond Salah, and that planning needs to begin now, not after a crisis hits. This is where Barcola fits perfectly into the picture. Liverpool's recruitment staff have reportedly intensified their monitoring of the French international, convinced that he has the talent, age, and profile to thrive under Arne Slot. Slot himself is believed to be a strong admirer of Barcola, valuing his direct style, intelligence on the ball, and ability to stretch defenses from wide areas. Barcola has continued to develop into one of League One's most exciting wide attackers. This season, he has scored 5 goals in 13 league appearances, showcasing both consistency and growth at the highest level. His performances have not gone unnoticed, not just in England but across Europe. Contractually, Barcola is tied to PSG until the summer of 2028, and the French champions are keen to secure his future with an improved deal. However, negotiations have reportedly stalled in recent months. The delay is said to be driven by caution from the player and his representatives, who want to fully assess all available options before committing long-term. That hesitation has opened a small but significant window of opportunity for clubs like Liverpool. While PSG manager Luis Enrique has publicly insisted that Barcola will remain in Paris for many years, Liverpool are quietly positioning themselves in case circumstances change. Inside Anfield, there is an understanding that a January move would be extremely difficult, both financially and politically. PSG are unlikely to sell mid-season unless forced. Still, Liverpool believe that the work done now, scouting, building relationships, and making their interest clear, could put them in a very strong position for the summer transfer window. Rather than overspending in January, the club is willing to be patient if it means securing the right player at the right time. Fabrizio Romano has already suggested that Liverpool could sign as many as 2 players in January, with defensive reinforcements also being considered. But when it comes to the attack, the message is clear: quality over panic. Liverpool want a player who can grow with the team, adapt to Slot's system, and potentially become a key figure in the post-Salah era. Barcola represents that vision. Young, dynamic, technically gifted, and already performing at a high level, he fits the profile Liverpool are looking for as they plan the next phase of their rebuild. As the January window approaches, Liverpool fans may not see an immediate blockbuster move for Barcola. But behind the scenes, the club is clearly thinking long-term. Missing out on Semenyo may have closed one door, but it has opened another, one that could lead Liverpool toward a more strategic and potentially game-changing signing in the months ahead. Liverpool fans were still celebrating a hard-fought 2-1 win away at Tottenham when the mood suddenly changed. What looked like a big goal and a big moment for Alexander Isak quickly turned into a nightmare that could shape Liverpool's entire season. One sliding challenge, one planted foot, and now one of the club's most expensive signings is facing months on the sidelines. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has confirmed that Alexander Isak is set to be out for a couple of months after suffering a serious leg injury during the win in London. The Swedish striker fractured his left leg when Tottenham defender Mickey van de Ven slid in as Isak fired the ball into the net. Isak scored, but paid a heavy price for it. Liverpool later confirmed that Isak underwent surgery for an ankle injury that included a fibula fracture. For Slot, the disappointment is clear. He described the challenge as reckless and admitted that losing Isak for this long is a huge blow, not only for the player but for the entire team. Slot did not hide his frustration. While Tottenham midfielder Xavi Simons had already been sent off earlier in the match for a late tackle on Virgil van Dijk, Van de Ven escaped any punishment for the challenge that injured Isak. Slot made it clear he felt there was a big difference between the two incidents. According to him, Simons' tackle was unintentional and unlikely to cause serious harm, but Van de Ven's was far more dangerous. Slot explained that if a defender makes that kind of tackle repeatedly, the risk of serious injury is always high. In his eyes, it was not bad luck alone, but a challenge that crossed the line. Tottenham boss Thomas Frank, however, strongly disagreed. He defended Van de Ven and described him as a fair and competitive defender who was simply doing his job. Frank argued that any defender would try to block a shot in that situation and suggested that Isak planting his foot made the injury look worse than it actually was. He also pointed out that the two players spoke after the incident and settled the matter between themselves. The debate did not stop there. Former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher added another layer to the discussion. While calling Isak's injury a massive blow for Liverpool, Carragher admitted that it was a challenge he himself would probably have made during his playing days. In his view, Van de Ven was not trying to hurt anyone. He was simply trying to stop a goal, and the unfortunate injury came from the follow-through. Carragher described it as terrible luck for Isak and noted that this match was one of the first times Liverpool fans had truly seen the striker's quality in a red shirt. From a technical point of view, many analysts agree that the incident sits in a gray area. Van de Ven slid in to block the shot, not to tackle Isak directly. The injury occurred because Isak's shooting foot landed between the defender's legs at the exact wrong moment. It was a natural collision during a normal defensive action, not a clear case of serious foul play. While injuries can influence emotions and opinions, they do not automatically mean a foul was committed. That does not mean blocking tackles can never be punished. Football history is full of examples where similar actions led to red cards, including Luke Shaw's horrific leg break in 2015. But in this case, officials judged it as accidental, and VAR did not intervene. For Liverpool, the timing could hardly be worse. They now face Wolves at Anfield without Isak, and their attacking options are already stretched. Mohamed Salah is away with Egypt at the Africa Cup of Nations, leaving a huge gap in goals and experience. Cody Gakpo is still recovering from a muscle injury, although there is hope he could return soon. Jeremy Frimpong has just come back from a hamstring problem and showed his versatility by playing on the right wing against Spurs. Slot has confirmed Frimpong is now fit enough to start if needed. However, Slot has ruled out recalling Harvey Elliott from his loan spell at Aston Villa, making it clear that the midfielder is expected to complete the season there. For Isak himself, this injury is another setback in what has been a very difficult year. Since completing his record-breaking £125 million move from Newcastle United, things have not gone smoothly. Injuries, lack of rhythm, and missed preseason time all slowed his progress. He managed only 3 goals in 16 appearances and struggled to find consistency. Slot admitted that Isak's situation has been challenging from the start. After months without proper training before joining Liverpool, adapting to the Premier League was always going to take time. Just as he was beginning to look sharper, scoring against West Ham and again against Tottenham, his season has been interrupted once more. Despite this, Slot remains confident that Isak can still play an important role later in the season. He believes the striker was finally getting closer to his best level and insists that this injury does not change the long-term plan. Now, Liverpool must find a way to cope without him. The squad will be tested, the manager will be tested, and the supporters will need patience. As for Isaac, the road to recovery begins again, quietly, painfully, and away from the spotlight. Football can be cruel. One moment you are celebrating a goal in front of thousands. The next you are facing surgery and months of rehab. Whether you see the challenge as reckless or unlucky, one thing is clear. Liverpool have lost a key player at a crucial time, and how they respond to this setback could define their season. For now, all eyes turn to Anfield, to Wolves, and to a Liverpool side forced to fight on without one of their biggest stars, hoping that when Isaac returns, he returns stronger, sharper, and ready to finish the story that was only just beginning.